Okay, so let's get started. We're going to begin laying down on our backs. It's very chilly this morning, but it's going to be nice today, I think. Sun's out, which is great. Temperature is going to warm up, which is nice. And these crisp, cold mornings are really nice in the fall, I think. So let's just take a few moments here to just settle down and settle into our practice. And sometimes I like to right away when I come into my practice, just think about what I'm grateful for. I love the northeast weather. I love the change of the seasons. So I'm super grateful for having a pretty and mild fall. I'm also super grateful for having this extra time with my family that I wouldn't normally have. So seeing my kids spend more time together than they would normally. Building those really important relationships, that brother relationship I think is so important. So having this extra time together, I feel really grateful for that. I know it's easy to get caught up in the chaos and the madness of what is going on. But there is always, well, not always, but there can be a silver lining and there can be some positive aspects to even bad things that are happening. So I think it's important once in a while to just take the time to try to find those positive things and think those positive thoughts, which will help create more positive feelings, and that will help us take more positive actions. I know for me, when I have negative thoughts about what's going on, then I start to not feel so great. I feel heavy in the chest. I feel low energy, maybe a little down. And then my actions tend to be just lay on the couch and do nothing productive and just kind of waste my time. So it really does make a difference. When we can control our thoughts, it makes a big difference to not only how we're thinking, but how we're feeling and then what we do. So just take that time each day to try to think about the positive thoughts that you have, and gratitude is always one of those. That comes a little bit easy, I think, because there's a lot to be grateful for. So begin to take some really full, deep breaths in through the nose and out of the mouth. Beginning to notice if you can relax the muscles in the body, wherever you may feel that you're carrying some tension. And then from here, let's just hug the knees into the chest. That'll help stretch out the low back. And then when you let the low back come back down onto the floor, it might have a little stretch there, a little more space. You can rock left to right. Maybe make some circles with the knees in one direction and then the other. And then we'll take the feet straight up, holding on to the backs of the legs. You can just reach the heels up to the ceiling. You can reach the toes up to the ceiling. You can make some circles with the feet. And just see how that feels. Keeping the back rounded down. Letting the shoulders relax down away from the ears. And then again, hugging the knees into the chest. And then we'll take 3 deep breaths. So as you inhale, let the arms reach up and back. Let the feet lift up towards the ceiling. Soft elbows and soft knees are totally fine. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale, hug the knees in. Inhale, arms reach, feet lift, and exhale, hug the knees in. One more time. Arms reach, feet lift, and exhale. Hug the knees in. We're going to let the left foot come down to the floor. And you're just going to take your right foot up to the ceiling, but have it really soft. So a nice soft bent knee. And we're just going to inhale, push the heel up towards the ceiling, and then exhale, relax. Inhale, stretch, and exhale, relax. One more time like that. Inhale, reach, exhale, relax. And then from here, just reach the heel up towards the ceiling. We'll extend the left leg. So this pose, yes, is about lengthening the hamstring, but I want you to think about your low back here. Pressing your low back down into the floor and feeling grounded. And also using your hands interlaced behind your thigh and push your thigh into your hands a little bit. That'll help release the shoulders. So you're bringing the shoulders down away from the ears. And then just breathing here. Taking a nice full breath in. And a full breath out. So thinking about as you get some length in the back of the right leg, you start to let go of tightness and tension in the hamstring, which was releasing tension in the back. And then as you press your leg into your hands, you're releasing tension in the shoulders. Take a nice full deep breath in. And then as you exhale, we're going to hug the right knee into the chest. Bend the left knee. Right foot comes into a figure four. So just pause here for a moment. Keeping the left foot on the floor. You could have your right hand resting on your right knee as you guide your right knee away from you. You might feel a little stretch in the low back. And then again, keep the shoulders down. Pause here. So there's a little gentle arch in the low back as you stretch your right knee away from you. So that's giving your back a little space to release. And then from here, we'll reach for the back of the left thigh and draw the left knee into the chest. A little tilt to the left will get a little bit deeper in your right hip. So let's pull the shoulders down away from the ears as you draw the left knee in. Thinking about letting go of what feels heavy, what's creating the tension in the body. So again, like we talked about at the beginning, our thoughts control our feelings. So if we're feeling a little stressed or feeling a little anxious, let's just think about what we're thinking about. Just notice. Especially when we come into these hip openers, just notice any thoughts that come up that might be creating this tension. And then breathe deeply. We carry a lot of tightness and tension in the hips, which connects to the low back. Just give yourself a little bit of extra time here to let that go. Take one more breath in here. And then as you exhale, we're going to let the left foot come down to the floor. Cross your right thigh over the left thigh. We're going to scoop both hips over to the right. Arms reach away from each other, and then just gently let the legs fall down to the left. So if you notice, I made an adjustment here. Instead of keeping my left foot where it was and letting my legs drop, I'm feeling a little tight in my back. So instead, I scooted my left foot over to the right. So it's kind of lined up with my right hip, and then I let my legs drop over. It just is a way to modify if having your right foot over to the left was too deep for the twist. So just pausing here and breathe. Open up through the chest and belly. Try to let go in the back. So relaxing the muscles along the spine. Breathing deeply to open up the back, open up the lungs and rib cage. Take a full breath in. And then as you exhale, we'll bring the legs back to center. If you modified, left foot comes back down. We're going to even out the hips as you bring both feet down to the floor and hug the knees into the chest. And we'll take 3 breaths here. So inhale, arms reach up, feet lift. And exhale, hug the knees into the chest. Inhale, arms reach up and back, feet lift. Exhale, hug the knees into the chest. One more time, just like that. Inhale, lift, and exhale, hug it in. We're going to take the right foot down to the floor, interlace your hands behind the left thigh. 3 breaths here. So as you inhale, reach your heel up, press your thigh into your hands, and then exhale, soften. Inhale, reach. Exhale, soften. One more time like that. Inhale, let your left leg go a little straighter. And exhale, soften. This time as you reach your left heel up, you can take your right leg and let it go straight. Thinking about what your low back is doing here. Press it down into the floor. As your hands and your leg resist, so as you're pushing your leg into your hands, relax the shoulders, let them pull down away from the ears. Pause here and breathe. So just notice what you're feeling in the body, notice where you're feeling. And then just take a few really nice deep breaths. So it's really important to allow yourself to feel your feelings, not resist. So even if the feelings are negative, like stress or anxiety, it's important to allow yourself to feel. Notice where you feel, and then just try to breathe through to soften. If you try to white knuckle and resist those feelings, they're still going to be there. They'll just pop up at different places in the body in different times. So just allow yourself to feel and then process by breathing. Take one more full breath in here, and then as you exhale, hug the left knee into the chest. The right foot is going to come onto the floor with a bent knee. Left ankle crosses over, and then just take your left hand, gently press your left knee away. You'll notice that when the knee is relaxed, your low back might be on the floor. As you push away, you get a little bit of a deeper stretch. I'm getting a little bit of an arch in my low back. That's okay. That's a natural arch. You're creating some space. Relax the shoulders. And then as you gently reach for the back of your right thigh, you'll notice that your low back now presses down into the floor. So let there be space in between the bones in the back, and then press down to be grounded and secure. You can tilt your legs a little bit over to the right and draw the right knee in. Try to relax the shoulders and soften all around the left hip. Again, noticing any thoughts. Noticing what you're feeling and where you're feeling. then just breathe. So a nice full deep breath in through the nose and out of the mouth. Let's release. We're going to let the right foot come down to the floor. Left thigh crosses over the right thigh. Scoot your hips over to the left a little bit. If you need to modify before the twist, you can take your right foot and move it over so it's in line with your left hip. Otherwise, just let both legs fall over to the right. So just see how deep the twist goes and how you feel. You can let your arms reach away from each other. Again, relaxing the shoulders. And then allowing yourself to breathe deep, to open up the lungs, open up the rib cage, release the low back. Feel the rise and fall in the belly and chest. Let go here. Completely relax. Let the body melt into your mat. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. We'll bring the legs back to center, uncross them. Even out the hips, hug the knees into the chest. Here we're going to transition up to sit, so you can either cross one ankle over the other and rock up to sit, or you can roll to one side and press yourself up. And then once you come to sit, we're going to sit cross-legged. If that's super uncomfortable, you can always sit up on something. You can sit up on a blanket, a folded blanket, or a cushion, just to give yourself a little height. Let's take 3 breaths here. Inhale, reach the arms all the way out and up. And exhale, let the arms come out and down. Inhale again, arms reach out and up. And exhale, release. And one more time, just like that. Inhale, arms reach out and up. And exhale, release. This time, as you reach the arms out and up, we're going to take your right hand, bring it down to the floor. You can tent the fingers and just let your left hand reach. Both elbows are soft. Left hand is reaching over to the right. Press down with your left hip and then just rotate your left shoulder blade back a little bit. Pause here and breathe. Opening up through the ribs, relaxing through the shoulders, getting a nice stretch to the low back. Take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, you're just going to take that left hand down to the floor. Maybe you can't reach the floor and it goes onto your knee, but maybe you can reach in front of the knee along the floor. You can bring your right hand a little bit closer to your left, and then just push both hands away, but then push back with your left hip and drop the head. Getting a stretch through the shoulders and the shoulder blades and your low back on the left side. Breathe deeply, so a full breath in and a full breath out. Then you're just going to start to walk both hands back to the center and then reach the hands away from you. Drop the head. Let your tailbone sink down. Let your head drop. Let your shoulder blades slide down your back. take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, just walk your hands closer to your legs and come up to sit upright. We're gonna switch the cross of your legs. Inhale, reach the arms up. And then we're gonna take the left hand down to the floor next to you. You can tent your fingertips. Right hand reaches over. So soft elbows. You'll notice if both arms are straight, your shoulders are hiked up by your ears. As soon as you soften the elbows, the shoulders can relax. You're just reaching to the side, pressing down with your right hip, opening up the low back, relaxing through the shoulders. Breathing deeply, maybe leaning back a little bit with that right shoulder blade. And then from here, you're just gonna let that right hand come down to the floor, maybe in front of your, kind of framing your left knee. So both hands will kind of frame the knee as you creep them away and come down. So you're kind of feeling like you're coming down over that left knee. Relax both shoulders. Push down with your right hip. Relax the neck. Breathe deeply. And then we're going to walk the hands to the center. Let your fingertips creep forward even more. Let the head hang heavy. Pull the shoulders back. Lengthen your spine. Push down with your tailbone. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, let's walk the hands back up. We're going to take the hands behind you. Let your feet come in front of you. Feet about hip width apart. And then you're just going to windshield wiper the legs left to right. They don't have to go far. Just windshield wipering over, kind of opening up the hips and back. And then when you're ready, we're going to make our way onto hands and knees. So take your time. We're going to come up onto hands and knees. If you want to put a little extra padding under your knees, feel free. We're going to come right into a child's pose with wide knees. So knees go wide, big toes touch, hips are going to sink down into your heels. Reach the arms out in front with palms and forearms down, and then drop the head. Pause here. Lengthen the spine by pressing your hips back and breathing deep. If you would like to feel a little bit more in your shoulders and upper back, you can take your forearms and lift them off the floor as you push your palms down. Feel how that feels. Make any adjustments. Pull the shoulders back. And breathe. And then if you'd like to go any deeper, you can tent your fingertips so the pads of your fingers are on the floor, your palms are lifted, shoulders are pulled back. Breathe deeply. Lengthen through the spine, let your shoulder blades melt down the back. Relax the muscles in the low back. And then let's come up onto hands and knees slowly and gently. So we're going to start off curling the toes under. Take a breath in just neutral, and then as you exhale, tuck the chin round to the back and just pause here and breathe. So your toes are curled under. We're not moving with breath. We're just holding cat pose here. Belly is drawn in, head is down, and this is active. You're really feeling the center of your back pushing up, and you're breathing in and out. So you're just in cat pose here. You're taking a full breath in and a full breath out, and then we're going to relax to neutral. Let the tops of the feet come down to the floor, come to neutral spine. Here, you're going to soften your elbows, lower the chest a little bit, and look forward. Keep the tops of the feet relaxed on the floor, and we're just going to take 3 breaths here. So not moving, just holding cow pose. Full breath in and a full breath out. Really release your shoulders. Full breath in and full breath out. One more breath. Okay, we're going to move with breath now. Inhale here. And then exhale, transition into cat. Round. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin. Exhale, round. One more time, just like that. Inhale. And exhale, round. We're going to bring big toes together. Bring your knees together. Hips are going to come towards your heels. Tops of the hands rest by your feet. Head drops down. Let your shoulders come by your ears. I don't say that very often. So let the shoulders completely relax. Roll your forehead left to right. As you move your hips and torso left to right. Relax your wrists. You can make some circles with the wrists if you need to. Stay grounded down through the head, the forehead. Okay, keeping the forehead down, you're going to take your hands, couple options. You can hold one hand on the opposite wrist and just let your hands rest on your low back. Or you can interlace your hands and reach your hands back. And then we're going to take 3 moving breaths here. So as you inhale, you're just lifting your hips a little bit. Your belly is still on your thighs, and you're rolling up onto your head, but not passing the center, and then down. And then feel free to go side to side. We're just giving the top of the head a nice massage, the whole space between your forehead and the top of the head. So you're down, you can lift up. At center, you can lift up to the side. If you would like to take your hands up and back, you can. That gets a little bit deeper into the shoulders as you come up, and then you can let them come down. I said 3 breaths, I mean a lot more. This feels good, so just take a few moments here. A lot of people carry tension and get tension headaches and migraines. They carry tension in the neck. Maybe the shoulders. So just take a few moments here. Maybe you just want to rock left to right. And then whenever you're ready, you're just going to come back to center, forehead down, tops of the hands, down by your feet. Relax the shoulders. Relax the space between your shoulder blades. Relax your low back. Relax through the face and forehead. Let the chatter in your head be quiet. And And then from here, we're going to come back up onto hands and knees. Left foot is going to go back and lift. Pull your belly in. So the foot does not need to be hip height. I noticed lately in my practice that the higher my foot lifts, the more strain I feel on my low back. So you can just lower a little bit and pull the belly in. You're getting the same effect, but just protecting your back a little bit more. Right hand reaches forward. Doesn't have to be level with your ear. It can be a little lower if you'd like. Belly draws in, and just pause here. Relax the shoulders. Be able to breathe. Feel energized through your back thigh, through the muscles in your core. Strengthening and lengthening your shoulders. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, right hand comes down, left toes find the floor behind you. Pivot your right foot to the right. Roll to the arch of your left foot. Left hand reaches up towards the ceiling. You can stay here. You can lift your left leg if you like that feeling. You can cross your right ankle in front of your left ankle, wherever you want to be. Your hips are lifted. Your weight bearing on the arms. So that's really helping not with just muscles, but with bones. Strengthening the bones around your shoulder joint as well. And the muscles around that joint. So just breathe here. Belly is in strong. Muscles around your spine are strong. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, let's come right back onto hands and knees. Take a moment. If you need to make some movements with your right wrist, feel free. Kind of shake it out a little bit. Sometimes weight bearing on the wrist can cause a little bit of discomfort. And then we're going to come right into the right foot back and lifted. So the right foot is back and lifted. The left hand reaches forward. Belly draws in and up. Again, the leg and the arm does not need to be too high. Think about having your back be the highest point. So you want your belly to pull in a lot. Take a nice full deep breath in and a full breath out. We're going to lower the left hand down. Right toes come behind you. Pivot your left foot to the left. Right hand reaches up. So anything that feels good here. You can lift your leg. You can cross your left ankle in front of the right. Don't feel like you have to. So just whatever you want to do here. We're weight bearing on the left arm. The belly is strong. You're able to breathe. You're focused on this moment in your practice, what you're feeling. Following your breath. Take a full breath in. And then as you exhale, let's come on down. We're going to come back to child's pose where you can relax your hands and wrists. So feel free to bring your feet behind you, ground back down on the forehead. Feel free to roll left to right. So letting the eyes be closed when you're in child's pose. Really go inside and let things go. Ground down right here through the forehead. Relaxing the neck and shoulders. Relaxing the muscles around the back. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, let's come up onto hands and knees and step your right foot forward. So the right foot is going to come forward. You can always put blocks under your hands if you'd like. But we're going to bring the right hand to the inside of your right foot. So the right foot can move over a little if it needs some space. We're first going to think about your left hip flexor here. So I want you to think about your left hip coming down. So super heavy left hip coming down. We're lengthening right here. This is your hip flexor. That can get super tight. You can even feel it. It might feel really tight. That leads to tightness in the low back. So opening up that hip flexor will help with any low back tightness. So you can just pause right here. We're going to add on. We're going to take the right foot, turn the toes to 2 o'clock, roll to the pinky side of your right foot. Now you're getting deep into your right hip. Sway gently left to right. Hip openers are really important for releasing emotional stress and tension in the body and also releasing tightness in the back. So breathe deeply here. You can adjust this pose any way you'd like. Maybe you want to come down a little lower. You can come down to forearms, but you don't have to. You can let your head just hang heavy here. Relax the neck. Maybe you like to feel like you can open up a little bit to the right and you have your right hand on your right hip. Maybe you bend your left knee and you reach your right hand back for your left foot. So these are all just suggestions. Just do what feels good here for you. Breathe deeply. Take a deep breath in through the nose, and then as you exhale, we're going to walk the hands back so that your right foot is going to face forward and go straight, but toes are down and your hands are on the inside. So keep the hands where they are. You're pulling your right hip back. The toes are down. You're getting a nice stretch through the top of your right foot, through the shin. If anybody ever gets shin splints, this should feel really nice. Lengthening through the front of the leg and the back. Take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, pull the right foot back, let it land on the floor. You're going to walk both of your hands about a foot in front of your right foot. Push off with the left foot so that you're standing on the right. So we're just going to stay here, weight bearing on this right leg, working on the bone strength and muscles. If you want to add a balance component to the pose, you can reach one hand for your shin or ankle. Maybe you reach the other hand. So you can just play around. It helps to have a bent knee so the right knee is not super straight. You can play around with balance here, building a lot of strength around the right knee and the right hip. Don't worry if you can't let go of the floor. Take a full breath in, and then as you exhale, left foot comes next to the right. Bent knees, belly is on your thighs. We're going to take the hands underneath the feet. So you're stepping on your palms, your toes are at your wrist crease, your head is hanging down. So depending on where you feel tightness is where you're going to lift from. I'm super tight between my shoulder blades, so I'm going to pull up from my shoulder blades. Other people might be tight in their low back, so you might want to lift from your hips and low back. Maybe you're feeling it in the neck and you want to pull up a little bit more from the shoulders. So you're just gently pulling up with an area in the torso that might feel tight, but you're pushing down with your feet into your hands and you're able to breathe. Take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, let's soften. We're going to take both hands down to the floor. You're going to step one foot back, drop the knee, the other foot back, drop the knee. You're in table pose. Let's take 3 breaths, moving through cat-cow just to release the back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, pull back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. One more time, just like that. Inhale and exhale. Coming to neutral, you're going to step your left foot forward up between your hands, and then you're going to move your left hand to the inside of your left foot, and then sink down in your hips. So you want your hips to be heavy and down, opening up through the right hip flexor. Relax your shoulders. The left knee is not going to pass the left ankle. Pause here, releasing the tightness in that right hip flexor. Relax the back. We're going to turn the left toes to 10 o'clock and roll to the pinky side. You can stay here, you can sway left to right, you can come down onto forearms. You can let your left hand rest on your left knee. Just whatever feels good here. We're going deep into your right hip flexor and your left hip joint. Relax the shoulders and neck. Pause here and breathe. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Let's come up onto the hands. Keep the hands on the inside of your front foot as you turn your toes forward. Keep them down on the floor as you walk your hands back. So just walk the hands back. They're underneath your shoulders. You're pulling your belly in, pulling both hips back, letting your left toes stay down. Opening up the shin and the space at the top of the foot at the ankle. And then we're going to pull back with the left foot. Move your hands forward about a foot. Push off with your right foot so you're standing on your left. Soft bend in the left knee. You can stay right here. Just getting a lot of strength through the weight of being on your left foot. If you want to try to find some balance, maybe you hold on to your left ankle with one hand, maybe two. Play around. Don't feel like you have to. Keep the belly strong. Relax the neck and shoulders. Take one more deep breath in here, and then as you exhale, you're going to take your right foot down. Belly is on your thighs, and you're just going to cross one ankle in front of the other. Doesn't matter which one. We're going to switch sides. So just cross one ankle in front of the other. If you need to have your hands on blocks or something higher, you can. Relax your shoulders. This is opening up your low back around your sciatic nerve. Pause here. Let the head be heavy and relaxed. Really good for the low back. Soft knees. And then take whatever ankle's in the front and scoot it around to the other side. So now the other foot is in the front. This should feel really good. It's nice to be in an inversion at the end of the class to have the oxygenated blood pumping up to the brain. Relaxing the low back, opening up the outer hips and the IT bands. Take a deep breath in, and then we'll take both feet next to each other. Hands come down to the floor. Step one foot back, drop the knee. Other foot back, drop the knee. Both feet over to one side and come down onto your hip and make your way onto your back. So coming down onto your back, hugging the knees into the chest, rocking left to right, letting the space between your shoulder blades ground down. Let your low back be massaged on the floor as you rock left to right. Make some circles with the knees in one direction and then the other. So we're just going to bring the feet down to the floor, parallel. The heels are drawing in towards your seat, but not too far in. Palms will come down by your sides. We're just going to take a few moving bridges here. So as you inhale, arms are going to reach back. When you lift for bridge, let's pause for a second. Someone was telling me the other day that this hurt their back. When you lift for bridge, I don't want you to lift from your belly button. So that's what this looks like. If you lift from your belly button, you're just taking your belly button and you're lifting it to the ceiling. I want you to press your whole low back and mid back down on the floor and lift from your pelvis. So you might not lift as high. You'll probably lift a lot lower. If you lift from your belly, you're going to have an arch in your back. If you have no back problems, then that's going to feel fine. If you have some back things going on, then you want to push down at your belly button, even at your rib cage, and lift from your pelvis. Not as high. Okay, so back down, palms down. Inhale, lift, arms lift, hips lift, and exhale, lower. And when you lower, let that mid back come down and then just roll down. And then again, inhale from the pelvis. The bottom lifts up first, then you come up. As you exhale from the middle of the back, it rolls down. Keep your pelvis lifted. That's the last thing to come down. Good. Inhale, lift. It's a rolling. Exhale, lower down. Two more, just like that. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last one. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. From here, we're going to take your feet mat width apart. Arms can be out to the sides. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale, let both legs drop over to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, legs go left. So you can continue this moving with your breath, going side to side. If it feels good to pause on one side and then just breathe there, feel free to stay. So some people like to keep moving, some people like to be still and hold poses. It's totally up to you. Just continue to breathe and relax the neck and shoulders. Feel a good release through the back and hips. Take one more full breath in, and then as you exhale, we're going to come into Shavasana. So find final relaxation pose. You want to be warm, room is freezing, so I'm going to put my blanket on me. So feel free to be warm and cozy. If you have a sweatshirt or anything that you want to put on, feel free. Any support you might need, feel free. Having the knees bent. And then once you're in your final relaxation pose, close your eyes. Just breathe naturally and normally. Relax the space between your eyebrows. Relax the jaw. Relax through the neck and shoulders. Relaxing the muscles around the spine. Apologize for my doggy. Let go of any tightness or tension around the hips. And just relax through the arms and legs. Try to block out any distractions and just tune into your body and your breath. And then I'd like to bring the word gratitude to everyone's attention and just see what that word means for you. See if you can think some thoughts around that word. Gratitude, grateful. See what some of those thoughts are that come up. See what feelings in the body come up when you have those thoughts. And then taking it one step further, think about an action that you can do today that is initiated from that thought and those feelings. For example, something simple. You're super grateful for this beautiful day. And the feeling that thought creates is feeling energized and light. And then the action you might take is to take a walk. So the thoughts control our feelings initiate our actions, and we are capable of creating our own thoughts. We all just created a thought about gratitude. Start to breathe a little bit deeper. You can begin to bring some small movements into the body. The fingers and toes. You can roll the head, moving the neck gently. And then whenever you're ready, just take your time. We'll gently come up and transition out of Shavasana, coming into a seated position. And then once seated, just take a moment with the eyes closed to just let your practice settle. Let's take the right hand over the heart, the left hand over the right hand. And remember that we are all connected. Not only are we here with each other, but we're here for each other. Let's take the palms together in front of your heart center to honor your practice and honor each other. Namaste.
Thank you, Mary.
Thanks, you guys.